There's a powder made from fossils that are 200 million years old. It costs less than $1 at any hardware store. It kills every dust mite it touches within 48 hours. And it does it without a single chemical, without a single toxin, and without a single prescription. Right now, as you watch this, there are between 100,000 and 10 million microscopic creatures living inside your mattress. They eat your dead skin every single night. They produce 20 pellets of waste per day, each one small enough to inhale, and every morning you wake up breathing their remains. The mattress industry has known about this for over 4 decades. The pharmaceutical industry has known even longer. But they did not warn you, they did not put it on the label, they did not issue a single public advisory, they did not solve it because solving it would destroy the business model. Instead, they built a $50 billion empire on top of it because solving the problem costs $1 and managing the problem costs you $1,000 a year for the rest of your life. They did not hide this powder because it failed. They buried it because it worked too well. This is the story of the fossil dust that eliminates what lives inside your bed, and why 2 of the most powerful industries on Earth prayed you would never find out. Welcome to Forbidden Home Science. If you are not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where we dig up what the industry buried. In 1836, a German peasant named Peter Kasten was drilling a well on the slopes of a hill in northern Germany. His shovel hit something strange about 90 ft down. A thick white layer of chalky powder, softer than chalk, lighter than calcium, unlike anything he had ever seen in that region of Germany. He thought he had struck a vein of limestone. He could not have been more wrong. What Peter Kasten had just uncovered was the compressed remains of billions of microscopic organisms called diatoms, single-celled algae that had lived in ancient lakes over 200 million years ago. When they died, their tiny glass skeletons, made almost entirely of silica, sank to the bottom of riverbeds and oceans. Layer after layer, century after century, millennium after millennium, they accumulated into massive deposits of fine, white powder buried deep beneath the earth. Under a microscope, each particle looks like a miniature sculpture of glass. Hollow cylinders, perforated discs, interlocking lattices, each one invisible to the naked eye. Charles Darwin himself collected these fossilized shells during his voyage and marveled at their beauty under a microscope. He called them among the most exquisite structures nature had ever produced. And each one of those structures comes equipped with edges sharp enough to cut through the exoskeleton of any insect or arachnid that walks across it. The ancient Chinese had already figured out this powder's lethal properties centuries before Peter Kasten's discovery. They used this powder to preserve food and protect stored grain, coating their harvests in a thin white layer that kept every crawling insect from destroying months of labor. The ancient Egyptians did the same, packing it around seeds, dried meat, and grain stores to ward off every pest that threatened their food supply. For thousands of years, civilizations across 3 continents used fossilized diatom powder as the most effective natural pesticide the world had ever seen. No chemicals, no toxins, no side effects, just physics. Then, in 1866, a Swedish chemist named Alfred Nobel discovered that if you soak nitroglycerin in this same powder, it became stable enough to transport without exploding. He called his invention Dynamite, and it changed the world. Suddenly, every deposit of diatomaceous earth on the planet was worth a fortune, but not for pest control, for explosives, for mining, for warfare. And overnight, the entire global supply of diatomaceous earth was redirected to the explosives industry, the agricultural applications, the pest control applications, the household applications that had served civilizations for millennia. All of it vanished from public knowledge within a single generation. By 1900, almost no one in the Western world remembered what this ancient powder could do to household insects and mites. An entire branch of traditional pest control, tested across millennia and 3 continents, was erased in a single generation. It was not forgotten because it stopped working. It was forgotten because dynamite was more profitable. But the diatoms did not care about economics. They had been killing insects for 200 million years, and they were about to become relevant again. This video barely scratches the surface. I have gathered everything the industry does not want you to know, all inside the complete Forbidden Home Science Vault. The exact powder protocol that eliminates dust mites permanently from any mattress, any pillow, any carpet, and any piece of upholstered furniture in your home. Natural pest repellents that indigenous cultures around the world mastered centuries ago and that cost almost nothing. Emergency water purification methods that survival engineers tested in the field and could not believe actually worked. DIY's air filtration setups that outperform $300 commercial units. Off-grid cleaning techniques that require zero electricity and zero chemicals, and much more. Over 10 guides in one place. No fluff. Straight to the point. The link is in the description. But stay here. The video is just getting started. Now let me show you exactly what is happening inside your bed right now. A study by Ohio State University found that a typical used mattress contains anywhere from 100,000 to 10 million dust mites. Each one is less than 1/3 of a millimeter long, completely invisible to the naked eye. They have 8 legs, like tiny translucent spiders, and they feed exclusively on the dead human skin cells you shed while sleeping. You lose roughly 1.5 degrees of skin every single night, most of it into your sheets and mattress fibers. That is enough food to sustain 1 million dust mites for an entire week. And they do not just eat, they breed at an astonishing rate. A single female dust mite lays between 60 and 100 eggs in her lifetime. Her entire life cycle from egg to death takes roughly 65 to 100 days. In a warm, humid mattress, a population of mites can double every 2 to 3 weeks during peak season. Your bed is not just a habitat, it is a colony, a factory, a breeding ground operating around the clock while you sleep. But the mites themselves are not the real danger. The real danger is what they leave behind. Each mite produces approximately 20 fecal pellets per day. Each pellet contains a protein called DARE-P1 that triggers an immune response in roughly 1 out of every 10 people. When you breathe in those microscopic particles, during 8 continuous hours of sleep, your immune system releases histamine. That histamine is what causes the stuffy nose you wake up with every morning, the itchy eyes that never seem to go away, the chronic cough your child develops every single night around bedtime that no doctor can properly explain, the eczema on your toddler's arms and legs that no dermatologist cream seems to fix, no matter how many prescriptions you fill. According to the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, approximately 10% of Americans exhibit allergic sensitivity to dust mites, making it one of the most common indoor allergens in the country. The World Health Organization reports that roughly 400 million people worldwide suffer from allergic rhinitis, a condition directly linked to dust mite exposure in the majority of cases. And researchers estimate that 85% of asthma patients are specifically sensitized to house dust mite allergens. Here is a number that should disturb you deeply. 10% of the weight of a 2-year-old pillow is composed entirely of dead dust mites and their accumulated feces. That is not a guess, not an estimate, not marketing material. That is published research data. Every single night you press your face into a surface saturated with microscopic waste and decomposing bodies. Your children do the same with their stuffed animals, their blankets, their favorite pillow. And the industry that sells you those products has known this for decades. The numbers are terrifying, but they are about to get worse, because the solution to all of this has existed for over 180 years. And 2 of the most powerful industries on Earth have spent billions making sure you never find it. If you have made it this far, you already know more about what lives inside your mattress than 99% of the population. Subscribe and share this with someone who needs to remember what the industry made us forget. And remember, everything they buried is inside the complete vault. The link is in the description. Now stay with me. The next vault is the heaviest, so the question is obvious. If a powder that costs less than $1 can eliminate dust mites permanently from any mattress, any pillow, any carpet, any couch, why does almost nobody know about it? Why is it not in every cleaning aisle of every supermarket in America? Why did your allergist never mention it? I need to be honest with you here. This is the part of the video that made me angry. Here's where the story gets ugly. The global mattress industry generates over $46 billion per year. In the United States alone, the mattress market is valued at over $18 billion, dominated by just a handful of corporations. The entire business model depends on one simple cycle. Buy a new mattress every 7 to 10 years at a price between $800 and $3,000. If consumers discover that a $1 powder could eliminate the primary biological contaminant inside their mattress permanently without chemicals, the replacement cycle would collapse. No one would throw away a perfectly good mattress just because of microscopic creatures that $1's worth of powder eliminates permanently. No one would spend $200 on a hypoallergenic mattress cover that merely blocks mites instead of killing them. No one would upgrade to a premium antimicrobial sleep surface marketed at $1,800 when a bag of ancient fossil powder does the same job for pocket change. The second industry, with even more skin in the game, is significantly larger and far more entrenched. The global allergy treatment market is valued at over $23 billion per year. Antihistamines alone account for nearly $18 billion annually. Nasal sprays, eye drops, prescription corticosteroids, allergy shots, immunotherapy. The entire economic structure depends on one foundational assumption: that the allergic reaction is the problem, not the cause, the reaction. The pharmaceutical model does not eliminate the source of your allergies. It does not even attempt to. It manages your symptoms. Month after month, prescription after prescription, copay after copay indefinitely. $30 a month for antihistamines, $50 a month for a nasal corticosteroid, $80 for a specialist consultation. That is over $1,000 per year, every year, for the rest of your life, versus $1 once, applied in 30 minutes. They do not want you to cure the problem, they want you to manage it forever, because managing it costs you $50 every single month until you die. Curing it costs you $1 in one afternoon. You cannot patent diatomaceous earth. It is a naturally occurring mineral that has existed in the ground for 200 million years. You cannot create a proprietary formula or branded version that forces the consumer to buy a subscription refill every 30 days. You cannot build a subscription model around a powder that lasts 6 months per application and costs less than a cup of coffee. And what cannot be patented cannot generate shareholder value. And what cannot generate shareholder value cannot be promoted, advertised, prescribed, or recommended by any system that profits from your ongoing dependency on their products. The entire economic model of the mattress industry requires you to believe your mattress is the problem. The entire economic model of the pharmaceutical industry requires you to believe your body is the problem. Diatomaceous earth proves that neither one was ever the problem. The dust mites were the problem, and the solution has been sitting on a shelf for less than $1 this entire time. This is the part they never wanted you to reach. Here is exactly what to do. Go to any hardware store, garden center, or order online. Buy food-grade diatomaceous earth. Not pool grade, not industrial grade. Food grade. The United States Food and Drug Administration classifies food-grade diatomaceous earth as generally recognized as safe. It will cost you between $1 and $5 for a bag that will last you over a year. Step 1. Strip your bed completely. Remove all sheets, pillowcases, mattress covers, and blankets. Wash everything in hot water at least 130 degrees Fahrenheit. This kills any live mites on the fabric. Step 2. Take the food-grade diatomaceous earth and sprinkle a thin, even, uniform layer across the entire exposed surface of your mattress. Cover every inch. Pay extra attention to the seams and edges where mites concentrate in the highest numbers. Step 3. Do the same thing to your pillows. If your pillows are more than 2 years old, the mite concentration inside them is staggering. Step 4. Leave the powder in place for a minimum of 12 hours. 24 hours is better, 48 hours is ideal. Here's what happens during those hours. The microscopic silica particles in diatomaceous earth attach to the exoskeleton of every mite that crawls across them. The sharp fossilized edges scratch and absorb the thin waxy layer that keeps moisture inside the mite's body. Without that protective layer, the mite dehydrates completely and dies within hours. No poison, no chemical reaction. Pure mechanical destruction at a microscopic level that no mite can develop resistance to. A study published in the Journal of Arthropod-Borne Diseases at Taichung Veterans General Hospital in Taiwan confirmed that diatomaceous earth exposure significantly reduced dust mite-induced allergic responses in test subjects. Research on stored product mites showed that diatomaceous earth dust formulations achieved between 93% and 100% mortality rates within 24 hours of contact. Step 5. After the waiting period, vacuum your mattress thoroughly using a hose attachment. Vacuum every surface, every seam, every edge. Step 6. Put on fresh, hot wash sheets and a clean mattress protector. Step 7. Repeat this process once every 6 months. Now here is the part most people miss. It is not just your mattress. Your couch cushions harbor dust mites. Your carpets are breeding grounds. Your children's. Stuffed animals are infested. Apply the same thin layer of food-grade diatomaceous earth to the surface of couch cushions and let it sit overnight before vacuuming. For carpets, sprinkle it evenly, work it into the fibers with a broom, leave it for 24 to 48 hours, then vacuum thoroughly. For stuffed animals, place them in a sealed bag with a tablespoon of the powder, shake gently, leave for 48 hours, then remove and vacuum. One important note, when applying diatomaceous earth, wear a simple dust mask. The powder is not toxic, but like any fine dust, it can irritate your airways if you inhale large amounts during application. Once it settles into the fabric, it is completely inert and safe for your entire family, including pets. Total annual cost, $2. Total annual time investment, about 2 hours spread across 2 applications. Now, compare that to the alternative the industry wants you to choose. A new mattress every 8 years at $1,200 average. That works out to $150 per year. Just for the mattress replacement, a hypoallergenic mattress encasement at $120, replaced every 2 years, $60 per year. Monthly antihistamines at $30 per bottle. That is $360 per year just to manage the sneezing. Nasal corticosteroid sprays at $40 per month, $480 per year to keep your sinuses open. An allergist visit at $200 per consultation twice a year. $400 just for someone to tell you what you already know. A HEPA air purifier at $350 up front with replacement filters every 6 months at $50 each. Another $450 per year, add it all up. The industry-approved solution costs you well over $2,000 every single year. The solution they buried costs you $2 and an afternoon of your time once every 6 months. The powder did not disappear because it failed. It disappeared because it made failure profitable. Imagine tonight your child sleeps through the entire night without coughing for the first time in months. You wake up without a stuffy nose for the first time in years. Your eyes are not swollen. Your throat is not scratchy. Your skin is not itching. That is what $2 buys you. And that is what two industries worth $70 billion combined did not want you to know. This knowledge did not die. It was waiting in a 90 FT deposit under a German hillside where Peter Kasten first struck his shovel in 1836. Waiting in the ancient grain stores of China and Egypt. Waiting in the published peer-reviewed research that no allergist, no dermatologist, no pediatrician ever shares with their patients. Diatomaceous earth has been killing insects for 200 million years before humans even existed on this planet. It was here before the mattress industry, before the pharmaceutical industry, before the concept of currency, before the first corporation was ever formed. And it will still be here, still working, still waiting long after every company that tried to bury it has been forgotten by history. If this video opened something for you, if it changed how you think about what you sleep on every night, subscribe and share it. Every single share preserves what two massive industries spent billions trying to erase. Every subscription is another vault that cannot be locked again. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier than this.